Welcome to my channel where English becomes exciting. Do you ever feel like the world is too big and your dreams are too far away? What if I told you the thrilling journey of one of history's most controversial figures, Adolf Hitler? Love him or hate him, his story is filled with dreams, failures, ambition, and power. From a small boy with big dreams to a man who changed the world forever. This is the story of Adolf Hitler like you've never heard before. Are you ready? Grab your headphones, sit back, and let's dive into this incredible tale that will improve your English and keep you hooked till the end. It all started on April 20th, 1889, in a small town called Braunau am Inn in Austria. A baby boy was born to Alois and Clara Hitler. They named him Adolf. No one knew this little boy would grow up to shake the world. As a child, Adolf wasn't special. Adolf was like any other boy. He loved playing outside, drawing pictures, and imagining a big future. But life wasn't perfect. His father, Alois, was very strict. Alois wanted Adolf to study hard and get a government job, just like him. But Adolf had a different dream. "I want to be an artist," he would tell his mother, Clara. His mother loved him deeply and supported his dream, but she couldn't change Alois's mind. Adolf's childhood was full of fights with his father. His father would shout, "Art is not a real job," and Adolf would stay quiet, hiding his tears. This caused tension between father and son. Adolf often wondered, "Why can't I follow my dreams?" When he was 13 years old, his father died suddenly. Adolf faced a major loss when his father died. This was a difficult time for him, and he started to lose interest in school. His dream of becoming an artist seemed farther away. Some people thought Adolf would feel free, but losing his father left a hole in his heart. Adolf started skipping school, and his once good grades began to slip. "Adolf is smart, but he's lazy," his teachers would say. All he wanted to do was draw. His mother's death just a few years later was a crushing blow. Without his parents to guide him, Adolf felt completely alone. He began to blame others for his failures and hardship. "It's not my fault," he would mutter, feeling increasingly isolated and angry. In 1907, at the age of 18 after finishing school, Adolf packed his bags and moved to Vienna, the capital of Austria. It was a city full of life and opportunity, especially for an aspiring artist. "Vienna is the city of art," he thought, full of excitement. Adolf applied to the Academy of Fine Arts, a prestigious art school. However, when the results came, he was heartbroken. The school rejected him. "Your work isn't good enough," they told him. This rejection was a massive blow to Adolf's dreams. "I'll try again next year," he said. But when he applied again, the school turned him down for a second time. It was a devastating moment for Adolf. Why is life so unfair? He often wondered, feeling the sting of rejection. Without school or a steady income, Adolf's life became increasingly difficult. He lived in tiny, dirty rooms and sometimes slept on the streets. He painted postcards and sold them to tourists for a little money. "I'll make it someday," he would say to himself, though often in doubt. In 1914, everything changed. World War I started, and Adolf saw a chance to make his life meaningful. He joined the German army. "Finally, I am part of something big," he thought. Adolf was brave in the war. He carried messages across dangerous battlefields and received 2 medals for his courage. But in 1918, Germany lost the war. The defeat of Germany in 1918 left Adolf feeling bitter and angry. Our leaders betrayed us, he shouted as he felt Germany's shame acutely. He was furious with those he believed had sold out the country. It was during this period that Adolf began to form the ideas that would eventually lead him to power. He started to blame certain groups, especially Jews, for Germany's problems. It's their fault we lost, he would say. These thoughts would later become the foundation of his ideology. After the war, Adolf returned to Germany. The country was in chaos. People were poor and hungry. Many were angry about the war's end. Adolf saw this as his opportunity. He joined a small political group called the German Workers' Party. Adolf was a powerful speaker. When he spoke, people listened. His words were full of anger, passion, and promises. Germany will rise again, he would say. This is my chance to make a difference, he believed. Adolf was a powerful speaker, and his words struck a chord with many Germans who were looking for change. We need to make Germany strong again, he would shout at crowded meetings. His passion was infectious, and soon more and more people were following him. Adolf changed the name of the group to the National Socialist German Workers' Party, also known as the Nazi Party. He designed their symbol, a red flag with a black swastika. This would become the most powerful symbol in the world. His speeches became famous. Thousands of people came to hear him. They believed in his dream of a strong Germany. But Adolf's ideas were dangerous. He blamed certain groups of people for Germany's problems and wanted to make Germany only for Germans. After World War I, Germany was in big trouble. People had no jobs, food was expensive, and many families were hungry. The country had to pay a lot of money to other nations because they lost the war. Germans were angry and sad. Adolf Hitler saw this pain. He told the people, "It's not your fault. I know who is to blame." His words gave people hope, but they also made them angry at others. Slowly, Adolf became a popular name. Adolf worked hard to grow his party. He held big meetings and gave loud, emotional speeches. Germany can be great again, he shouted. People clapped and cheered. They believed in his dream. He promised, and people believed him. Adolf can make our country great, they would say, their hope rekindled by his words. In 1923, Adolf made his first serious attempt to take control of the German government. This was called the Beer Hall Putsch, but it failed. Adolf was arrested and sent to jail for 9 months. While in prison, Adolf wrote a book called Mein Kampf, which means My Struggle. In this book, he laid out his vision for Germany's future. In this book, he wrote about his ideas. He said Germany needed to become powerful and that certain groups of people were the enemy. He blamed Jews, Marxists, and other groups for the country's problems and promised to make Germany powerful again. Despite being behind bars, Adolf's ideas were spreading. The book became a bestseller, and many Germans started to believe in his vision. When he was released from prison, Adolf continued to work on building his party. The country was still in turmoil, and many were looking for a strong leader to guide them. By 1933, Adolf's chance had finally come. The economy was weak, people were suffering, and the government was struggling to cope. Adolf was appointed Chancellor of Germany. "Now is our time," he said, his words filled with determination. People trusted him, and his popularity grew rapidly. After getting out of jail, Adolf worked even harder. The Nazi Party became stronger. By 1933, Adolf Hitler was chosen as the Chancellor of Germany, the country's top leader. This was the start of a new chapter. Adolf promised jobs, a strong military, and a bright future. The people trusted him, but they didn't know what he was planning next. As Chancellor, Adolf made many changes. He built roads, factories, and schools. More people got jobs, and Germany started to look strong again. The people were happy. Hitler is a hero, they said. But behind this success, Adolf had dangerous plans. He controlled newspapers, radios, and schools. People were told, you can only believe in Adolf Hitler. Those who didn't agree with him were punished or sent to prison. Adolf created a strong army called the SS and a group of young boys called the Hitler Youth. They trained to fight and spread Nazi ideas everywhere in Germany. People saw the swastika flag. It became the symbol of Adolf's power. Adolf's speeches became even more powerful. He would say, "Germany is the best. We will rule the world." Crowds cheered and shouted, "Hail Hitler!" In 1939, Adolf made his boldest move. He ordered his army to invade Poland. This act started World War II. Adolf's dream was to take over all of Europe and make Germany the most powerful country in the world. At first, Adolf's army won many battles. They were strong and well-trained. But as the war went on, things started to go wrong. Adolf had made many enemies. Countries like the United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union joined forces to stop him. In 1945, the war was almost over. Adolf knew he was losing. His generals were defeated, and his army was weak. As the Allies closed in on Berlin, Adolf realized there was no way out. On April 30th, 1945, Adolf Hitler took his own life. The world was relieved. Millions had died because of Hitler's dreams and ideas. The world learned the hard way that hatred, war, and extreme ideas can cause great harm. Hitler's life was a warning of what can happen when one person has too much power. Today, his story is studied to teach us about the dangers of hate and the importance of peace. Adolf Hitler's life is a lesson in how one man's dreams can change the world, for better or worse. It's also a reminder of the power of words and the danger of believing in the wrong ideas. As we listen to his story, let it be a chance for us to improve our English and to learn from history so we never repeat the mistakes of the past.